Today, we are diving deep into how one country, Papua New Guinea, home to one of the planet's largest and most vital rainforests, is putting together an incredible blueprint to protect it and fight climate change. Let's get right into it. So you have to ask yourself, where do you even begin with a task this huge? I mean, how do you build a plan to save something as massive and as critical as a nation's forests, especially when those forests matter to the entire world? It's a massive question, and honestly, the stakes just couldn't be any higher.
Well, for Papua New Guinea, the answer is a really comprehensive framework known as REDD+. Now that stands for Reducing Emissions from Deforestation and Forest Degradation. So what we're going to do is unpack their climate action blueprint piece by piece to see how it all works.
All right, first up, we need to get a handle on the foundational structure of this thing. You can think of this as the actual architectural drawing for the entire project. It's what lays out the vision, all the main components, and, crucially, how they're all meant to fit together. So, at its very core, this entire blueprint is held up by three main pillars. First, you've got the National REDD+ Strategy, or NRS. That's basically the what they're going to do. Second, there's the coordination structure. That's the who is going to do it. And finally, number three, the National REDD+ Fund. And that's the how it's all going to get paid for. Each one is absolutely essential to keep the whole thing standing.
Let's zoom in for a second on that first pillar, the NRS. You really should think of this as the strategic heart of the whole operation. This is the document that gets into the nitty-gritty, detailing the specific policies and actions that Papua New Guinea is going to use to tackle the root causes of deforestation, which can be anything from huge agricultural projects to very local land use issues.
You know, a great blueprint is one thing, but to actually build something, you need the right tools for the job. So now let's take a look at how Papua New Guinea is equipping itself to turn this grand plan into a reality on the ground. And this is really where the rubber meets the road. I mean, you can have the best, most brilliant strategy in the world, but if you can't measure your progress, if you can't verify your results and make sure everything is being done above board, well, then the plan just stays a piece of paper. Accountability is literally everything. So this is the technical toolkit they're using. First up is the National Forest Monitoring System, the NFMS. Think of it as the eyes on the forest, using satellites and other tech to track what's changing. Next, we have the Forest Reference Level, or FRL. This one is critical. It sets the baseline. It's the historical benchmark for emissions that they'll measure all their future progress against. And finally, there's the Safeguard Information System, or SIS. This system is there to make sure the whole process is transparent and that it respects the rights of indigenous peoples and local communities. They're all designed to work together, in tandem.
Okay, so we've got the plan and we've got the tools. But climate action isn't just about technology and policy documents. Fundamentally, it's about people. And that's where the human element comes in, with its own set of key players and some really immense pressures.
This right here captures this central tug-of-war at play. On one side, you have the key players trying to make this work: the government of Papua New Guinea, international development partners, and various civil society organizations. And on the other side, you've got these relentless pressures they're fighting against, really powerful economic forces like commercial logging and agricultural expansion that are the primary drivers of deforestation.
So how in the world do you get all these different players pulling in the same direction? Well, you do it through very deliberate engagement. That means things like robust stakeholder consultations, having clear communication channels to share knowledge, and creating widespread training and awareness programs. They've even built an e-learning platform to make all this critical info as accessible as possible. It's all about building a powerful coalition for change.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important part of our explainer. With the blueprint designed, the tools in place, and all the players getting engaged, where does this actually lead? Let's look at the progress that's been made and the opportunities that lie ahead.
Because at the end of the day, every single strategy document, every monitoring system, and every stakeholder meeting is aimed at one thing and one thing only: achieving real, tangible, measurable results. We're talking fewer emissions, healthier forests, and better livelihoods for the people of Papua New Guinea. That's the goal.
And we can actually see that shift from planning to action happening right now. The focus is moving toward cashing in on these systems through programs like the GCF's Results-Based Payments Pilot Program. GCF is the Green Climate Fund. And what this means, essentially, is that Papua New Guinea can now start to get paid for successfully reducing deforestation. It's a huge transition from planning and building to actually implementing and getting a financial reward for it.
So here's the bottom line. Papua New Guinea has done the incredibly complex and difficult work of laying the foundation. The blueprint is there, the tools are ready to go, and the teams are getting into place. The defining question now is really one of execution and speed. How quickly can this comprehensive plan deliver the results that its forests, its people, and our shared climate so urgently need? That is what the whole world will be watching.